Two adjacent girls living in a lovely world. They took a podcast train going anywhere, but kind of specifically through Austin, Texas. Yeah, hook 'em horns.
Hey, you guys, welcome back to Adjacent. We're still digging deep with Mel Robbins and Shelly here. I love the self-help books and want to dig deep into it and learn everything I can. We've gone through kind of Mel Robbins' transformation so far. We've shared her writing her book 54321, and then she started her newsletter. And I'm going to take a little pause right here and kind of share some other people that you might want to follow as well, that they kind of are kind of like Mel Robbins as well, and definitely worth digging into. And I definitely follow all of these folks, and I think a lot of them have podcasts, newsletters. They're on their social media. They have YouTube channels. They do a lot of public speaking. They've written books. And so I think it's pretty easy to find them. So we'll start with our local girl who we love the most, and that's Brene Brown. And she works over at the University of Texas. What I love about Brene Brown is she's just so real. She talks about connection in such a meaningful way, and it's so deeply human. And I love to listen to Brene Brown. It's like meditation. It's so lovely. Then we have Doyle. There's a big energy around self-trust, women redefining themselves and relationships and living authentically. And so that's a big one that I enjoy. Jay Shetty is a huge crowd pleaser. Just really mindfulness and motivation and building relationships. And he is just like a breath of fresh air. Like, just listening to him, even if you're not processing what he's saying, his voice is just like meditation. I'm a big fan. Rachel Hollis focuses on personal growth, routines, confidence, and all that good stuff. Martha Beck is more, soulful and introspective, and great for women. If you're trying to reinvent yourself or you've been through burnout, she's pretty solid on that. I don't know how to say those last name, but Marie Furley. I follow her, but I don't know how to say her name. I'm sorry. She really is like a motivator. You can do it. You can do it. You can do it. Highly, highly motivating. Gabby Bernstein is like spiritual growth, real powerful, dealing with anxiety and mindset work. I know this one's going to shock you guys. She's been around forever. Oprah Winfrey and Mel Robbins, have a lot of crossing of, the things they're sharing about deep diving conversations about growth and healing and becoming your best self. That's always been Oprah's big message. Amy Porterfield is, if you love Mel's practical style, you'll love Amy Porterfield. She's very, very, straightforward and direct, which is lovely. And then Elizabeth Gilbert about creating life, reinvention, fear, and finding joy in the second part of your life. And so some great representation out there. I also love Adam Grant, and we just had two conversations last week with people that they're local, they're starting to share their stories, and I think they should be on this list. I wouldn't be surprised if they're on this list someday. And I'm sure you guys remember Loriana. She used to be on Fox News here in Austin. We had a conversation with Loriana, and we'll have her on the podcast. And she's just such a great motivation for surviving cancer and reinventing yourself and getting back on the horn, and it does a great job of explaining how media has changed and how to get her footing in media, and she speaks very publicly about women's health and taking care of yourself, and I think she's a force, and I think she's right up there with these guys as well. And you can follow her on the socials, and she's going through a rebranding, and I can't wait to see what happens. She has a book out, her son's writing a book, but she does a lot of public speaking, and we're hoping she'll get back to Austin and we can enjoy time with her. And we recently had a little coffee, and hopefully she'll be joining our team, but definitely a woman that is highly motivating, reinvented herself, and she started a company here in Austin called Let Kelly, and her name is Kelly, and we sat down with her, and we were absolutely blown away by her energy, and it felt like we were having coffee with Mel Robbins. So follow Kelly, and we are sharing her post the last 2 weeks, so it'll be real easy to find her. But she's at letkelly.com, and you can reach out to her, and she's very responsive, and so is Loriana. These people are actually people you can reach out and have a conversation with, and Loriana and Kelly. And then our podcast, I feel like highly motivating people, and that are podcasting with us. Pammy Out Loud, when she shares her stories, is so motivating, and her connection, and being a grandmother and sharing that process has been incredible. Danielle Cobb over a Court of Connection just blows our mind. She's so young and is so aware of what's going on, and I think that if you love Mel Robbins, you should give Court of Connection a listen for sure. Another one is Kim and Friends, and that's Kim Mason Brown. And she is so motivated for women to move their bodies and celebrate their bodies and take care of their bodies. And so authentic in her communication. She just blows our mind every episode that she shares with us. I mean, just such good stuff. Good Enough Today, Sharima Lee, she is on medical leave right now, but her shares about being good enough and celebrating where you are, and that is enough. A lot of friends are struggling with medical issues and mental health issues, and whatever you're going through, you're good enough today. And those messages are fantastic. So go back and listen to all of those. And then Dateable AF. Those ladies are so friggin' knowledgeable. We cannot get enough of them. They have been on break, and we have been missing them so much. Is Dr. Sarah Kyle, who is a therapist here in town, and her co-host is Rachel Howe, who is, she's a researcher, and they deep dive amazing things. And I mean, so, here's 10 big names, and then I just gave you like 6 local people. Jody and I, we love to share anything we can, and we want people to have a space to share their stories. We're trying to connect people more than recommending and giving advice. We're really just trying to give a space to share information. So we want to be adjacent to you. We'd love to interview you. But that's it for the Mel Robbins post today. And we will be back with you tomorrow. More Mel Robbins. Texas, yeehaw.